The reason people don't step up is because
they
always
know.
step up. They're like, Kũî will come and
you'll come and sort it out.
They're like, Kũî will come and sort this, so no one moves. So at some point, I had to tell myself, it's okay, let things not get done. Because what then happens is people have to step up, and you actually
things have to be done.
Life is messy, beautiful, complicated. We juggle family, work, love, and its expectations. But sometimes we just need to talk about it out loud. This is that space, a place to laugh at the chaos, honor the challenges, and celebrate the wins, both big and small, where stories are shared, hearts are open, and no one is pretending. Authenticity is welcome here. So pour your tea and join me, because there's a space and a seat here for every version of you. This is Conversations with Kũî. Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Kũî, a safe space for hard truths and radical vulnerability, where we talk about the lives that we're actually living, not only the lives that we were taught to want. I'm your host, Dr. Kũî Mũraya, and today we're talking about the strong African woman. I should say strong African woman. What does this really mean? What are the costs and joys of this identity? And more importantly, can we carve out a space for softness, care, and rest while still celebrating our strengths? Can we carve out space for vulnerability and gentleness without losing pride in our strength? And to help me unpack this topic today, I am joined by Winnie Gor, who is a powerhouse communications strategist. Welcome, Winnie.
Thank you, Kũî.
And thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing space with me today and making the time, because I know you're a very busy person. So we really appreciate having you here.
Thank you, Kũî. Thank you.
Before we get into it, maybe tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
My name is Winnie Gor. I run an agency by the name Winnie Gor Communications Africa. We are a communications agency based in Kenya, but we do a lot of work across 19 African markets, looking to grow more. So we focus on all communications matters, communication strategies, PR, marketing, digital, creative branding, event management. And one of my passions is personal branding, especially for executives. Okay. Yes, so we've been running the agency for the last 12 years. I have been in the industry for 19 years. Besides that, I'm a friend, I'm a lover, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, and I'm your new friend.
100%. Yes, you are. And you never know, I might be a new client.
Yep, absolutely.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, so it brings me so much joy to be here with you. And I absolutely love the topic that you're having today, because we've been taught to be this strong person who knows what they want all the time, is always put together. But truth be told, it's not every time that you're able to keep yourself put together. So what are the tactics? What are the tools that we use to ensure that we keep going? I don't know if I've mastered it, but I'm hoping that I'm getting there.
Yeah. We're on the journey.
We are on the journey.
We're both on the journey.
Absolutely.
So this is us, two sisters sharing wisdom, because I really can relate with what you're saying. For a long time, I also embodied that identity. And then it's at some point you're like, I don't really know if this is working for me. And
I know.
I think I need something different, but I'm so used to doing this. What does different even look like?
Yeah.
To start us off, when I called you to have a brief about this podcast, we're having a phone call, a long, nice, wonderful phone conversation. And then I was like, and so just as a reminder, this is the topic. And one of the things you say to me is, me, I do not want to be a strong woman anymore.
I am done being strong.
Good. Tell me about that. Tell me why. Tell me, what does that look like in reality? Let's start with the why. Why are you done being a strong woman?
I think just going back to what I mentioned earlier, we were brought up being told you have to be a girl, you have to be a woman, you have to figure it out. When you live in the house, be put together, put your feet together, dress a certain way whenever you're going somewhere. And I know I usually tell this even to my clients as well. Personal branding, how you present yourself, how people perceive you. But to be honest, it's tiring. It's tiring. This embodying this masculine nature that doesn't come naturally for us. as we grow older, you realize there's actually power in being feminine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yet to get there. I hope I will get there because I admire those people who can be damsel in distress, for instance, and things get done for them. But for us, we were taught, figure it out, sort it out, come out of there. And again, it comes also from the industry that I'm in, where we are solution providers. When they say, when you go to a PR practitioner, then they are the ones who solve all your problems, have to figure it out, know it all. So we tend to now start embodying that in our personal lives, in what we do. And there are times you just want to sit and just say, you know what? I don't know it. I don't have the answer.
I can't do it all.
I haven't figured it out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And leaning on other people who can help you. People who can walk with you when you can't do it yourself, Yeah.
And we'll come to that because I do want us to talk about like some of the strategies to embracing this softer side. But what you're describing, do you feel that's really about being a damsel in distress? Because I kind of feel that's just like being human.
I think our feminine nature, that's how we're meant to be. Softer. There's a reason why there's a masculine and the feminine. There's a reason why you have the man handling some things and the women being assigned a certain role. But fortunately, and sometimes can be unfortunate as well, because of the society we live in now, we've had to embody some of this. I keep on saying, for the women, things have changed over time, where you have single women who still have to be the mother and the father, so have to be the provider, but still has to be, the friend, the sister and everything. Or you have even a wife, for instance, who they both work with the husband, but then she still has to come home and be the one to figure out what are we eating today. We possibly came home at the same time. I might have even come in later if you have a job like mine where maybe you have a project that runs through the night, So if you have someone who doesn't take on that responsibility for you, which is just being like putting equitable roles where it's not about who should do what, but what can be done. Like, anyone can take it on. If it's washing dishes, a man can wash it just the same way a woman can. And I think maybe in the 80s and the 90s, we were told, what a man can do, you can do better. And we really took that on. And it's really taken us far, but we can still take a step back and let other people also handle, So that's why I keep on saying, I don't want to be that strong woman anymore. Yeah. I'm happy to let other people also carry the burden.
Yes.
And it's the same thing I've even taken on even at home. A second-born who behaves like a first-born because everyone just always sees me carrying on a lot of these responsibilities. And you find everyone consulting with you, from my aunties and uncles, even when it comes to family meetings. And I remember one time saying, you guys realize I'm a child in this home like everyone else, yeah? Yeah.
Girl, I can so relate.
And you could tell that it hit them, because I've always been the solution provider. Whenever there's a function in the home, has Winnie been told, what are we doing, Winnie? We just lost an uncle the other day and I was helping. And I absolutely love doing it, by the way. Please don't get me wrong. I love being the solution provider. It's who I am. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy the craziness, But things hadn't moved, came in, and now that's when I'm like, okay, can we do this? Can we do this? Of course, again, it's because maybe I've learned to have the tools based on the work that I do. But sometimes it would help also, for you to sit back.
Yeah.
And also be led to.
Yeah.
Just as everyone else was mourning, even for me to mourn.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah. And the truth is, first of all, I really just feel like you're describing my life because I'm also the second born. But I'm also
a second born thing.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is a second born thing. I don't know. But
I actually have 3 aunties and they're all second borns and they all carry the same burden. So we actually think it's a second born burden. I don't know if it's because being second borns, you feel like you have to prove yourself more than the first born. I always have this analogy that when the firstborn is born, everyone is so eager for the child to be born. And when the child is born, you check their temperature and are they breathing and everything, everything they're given, all the attention that they need. By the time the second born is done, the mother has gotten all the tools that they can be able to handle. They're like, that's cry. Maybe they just need to have some water, So there's not that much attention. So we're used to having to fight for our space. I could be wrong. It's an analogy that is not proven. But when I look around me with the friends who are second borns like I am, with some of my family members who are second borns, I can see a trait for sure. Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, I completely hear you. It's very possible that I don't necessarily disagree with the analogy for sure. I can see how second borns might have a particular sense of independence because of their positioning in the family.
Yeah.
But then it could just also be maybe it's our personalities, maybe it's our characters.
Yeah.
Like you never know. But one thing I was going to say also in response to this idea of, I play that role also a lot in my own, the nuclear and extended family as well. It's like, if Kũî doesn't do things don't move. Yeah. Things are standstill. And at some point I was just like, well, okay. Let them not move.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, the reason people don't step up is because
they
always
know.
step up. They're like, Kũî will come and
you'll come and sort it out.
They're like, Kũî will come and sort this, so no one moves. So at some point I had to tell myself, it's okay, let things not get done. Because what then happens is people have to step up. And you actually
things have to be done.
Things have to be done. And so you see people stepping up. And in some ways it's also... But someone is one who reflected this back to me. In some ways, by being the way we are, it short circuits the growth of others because we don't also give them space to step up.
That's true.
Because we're always the ones
that
like
is very
stepping.
True. And sometimes I think we work against ourselves as well. Because yes, indeed, sometimes you are tired and you don't have it in you to give. But... because you've already bestowed yourself that responsibility,
we bestow it on ourselves.
Because no one has done it.
Look at me.
Yeah, we can't fix it all. And I think there's a certain what's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain joy we get.
For sure.
That, things were sorted because I was there.
There's a validation we get.
That's the affirmation, the validation.
Yes.
But things will be done, even when you're not there.
And they don't have to be done. Correct. They don't have to be done your way.
But it will go on.
Exactly.
And life will move.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's interesting you said about like that affirmation and validation. I had to do a lot of self-work to realize the reason I'm also like this is because, in fairness, I'm good at it. I really am.
Yeah.
And I handle business.
Yeah.
Mostly I enjoy it, but there are times I would not, right? And then at some point I came to realize it's because this also gives me some kind of validation.
Yeah.
So then I had to go inside and be like, what's that really about? Why do I feel I need this kind of...
Absolutely.
So, but I mean, of course, that took years and self-work and people mirroring things to you and whatnot. But yeah. But I also wanted to talk about the cost of being the way, as you say, sometimes you just don't have the energy or the strength, but because you've bestowed on yourself this throne and crown of I am the sort it out person.
Yes. Miss Fix It.
Everything has to be sorted even when I'm crumbling and I don't have the strength.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cost to us of being like this.
I think over time we enable people not to have boundaries as well. And for me, I find that very key. For a long time, I didn't have boundaries. So whether I am exhausted or whatever, I'll always run around for people.
Yeah.
And when I started having boundaries, first I could tell that there was a shift like, oh, what do you mean you say no? What do you mean you can't do it?
It's almost like, how dare you say no?
And people even start giving you other options. Oh, you can't do it today, so can you do it tomorrow? And you're like, but I said no, I can't do it. It's hard. It's actually hard when you start because you've not had that boundary for a very long time.
Yes.
So even for you, that side of no sounds strange. But I realize it's like a muscle. When you do it the second time, it's still hard. It becomes slightly easier. By the time you do it the 10th, 15th time, you've built the muscle. You can actually be able to distinguish. And for me, it came after a lot of terrible experiences. We talked about burnout.
Yep.
I have been burnt out severally. Once hospitalized for burnout. Another time going into surgery. And this was purely work. And at that point, I couldn't even say no to my clients as well. So on a Skype call, it was way before Zoom. And I was on a Skype call as I'm being wheeled to theatre, you know? And after my surgery, still taking on calls. Yet, I could have just said no to that job, or I could have, delegated better.
And also, maybe you could have just told your client, I'm actually on medical leave, and they would have understood.
That's exactly it. But I think for me, because at that point it's an emergency, it has to be done. I am needed, And truth be told, of course, we were on a timeline and everything. But looking back now, I'm actually looking at it and I'm like, it's nothing to be proud of, what was I doing? I didn't even heal well because I was still focusing on work and I was so eager to go back to work. And I remember I actually went back to work prematurely and I had to be put back on bed rest. I could have just stayed put.
Yeah.
And I think my turning point came during COVID because we were all forced to skip a bit.
Yep.
And we were all forced to pause.
Yeah.
We were all forced to introspect. And interestingly, I had been given a book by a friend of mine in 2018 that I never got to read. And so in 2020, we had all the time in the world. So I'm going through my bookshelf and I come across this book on mindfulness. And those simple exercises, I think, were life-changing for me. Count the number of flowers you see in your garden. I kid you not, I'd never even sat in my balcony for longer than 20 minutes. And I remember I used to wake up in the morning and so I'd do the exercise and it would say, how many red flowers can you see? And you have to count. And I was like, I didn't even notice that we had flowers here.
I was about to say, let alone counting them.
Yeah, I never noticed because I was always on the move, always running, always doing things, And I remember one time I called a friend and he said, you sound very zen. I was like, but isn't this how I always sound? He said, no, something about you has changed. So I asked him, how did I used to sound? He was like, you always sounded like you're not present. Like you're talking to me, but I can already tell your mind is already on the next task that you have, on the next thing that you need to do. You're not present, And sometimes we still go back to default setting. But I try to remind myself to just skip that bit,
Yeah.
And just introspect.
Yeah. And also that I learned this a lot later, but also two things that saying no is a form of self-care.
Absolutely.
And that sometimes no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Like
I don't need to justify it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to justify it. Yeah.
Because I realized I used to justify my no because of what you talked about before. It's hard. You feel guilty.
Yeah.
I feel guilty for saying no. And then at some point I'm like, actually,
I don't need to.
I don't need to.
And I think I'll just justify that. So again, pre-COVID, I remember at some point I had a friend who told me, I wish I could lock you in the house so that you could just have a few days to yourself, And during COVID, I started having these days that became sacred to me, Sundays. And I stopped doing anything. I won't check my emails, unless I absolutely have to do anything. Sundays are my days to just feed back onto me.
To nourish yourself.
Yes, and to nourish myself. And so what I started doing is I sleep in on Sundays.
Good.
I watch TV without feeling guilty.
Yes, guilt-free. Because that's important. You could sleep in, but you're still feeling guilty, and then it beats the purpose. And
that was the case before COVID, And I was so happy one day when my mom called me and she said, oh no, so-and-so wanted to come and drop something. But I told them, no, Winnie usually rests on Sunday. And I said, you know what? I think people are getting it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because there are moments when she would say, let's do something. I'm like, no, if it's a Sunday, I'm resting. I need to rest. Because I realized if I don't rest that Sunday, I start the week exhausted. I'm not able to give my best during the week. And then it just catches up with you. So I'm not burning out as much as I used to. There are times I still find myself pushing it.
Which is fine because it's your default and we're still learning,
Yeah, we're
right?
still learning. And I think you can never really become perfect. But I am a lot more aware. I can feel when I'm about to burn out.
Which
I
is
can
important.
feel when I need to slow down.
Good, yeah.
And there are times I can actually say, you know what? I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
I'll do it later, or it's okay for that to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you were saying before about what your mom said, that she told someone, Winnie, rest on Sunday, reminds me, I always tell people this story because when I was doing my PhD, one of my advisors told me, you have to teach people how to work with you.
I like that.
If you show people that I will pick up calls on Sunday, I'll be on email on Sunday, I will, when I'm on leave, I'm not really on leave because I'm still responding to, that's exactly how they're going to work with you. That's what they'll expect of you. But when you teach people, when Kũî is on leave, she's on leave. And when she says that auto response of, I am on leave with no access to my, she really means it, you know? And it's so true. And I learned, so even as I grew in my career, and took on kind of more senior leadership roles, people knew, like, hey, Kũî is on leave. That just leave her. If she's on leave, like, unless it's truly, and I don't even know what kind of emergency would be there that no one else can handle it. Yeah. People would just let me rest. Absolutely. People knew on weekends. Yeah. You don't expect any response from Kũî. People also knew, like, and I would tell people, I will email you when it's convenient for me, but I don't expect a response from you. Immediately. Exactly. Yeah. Like, respond when it's, Yeah. So I've carried that thing with me. And he told me this many years ago, but I've really carried that thing with me of teach people how to work with you. Yeah. If you show them you're always available, that's exactly that's true. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah. And another thing though I realized was there was a bit of my ego in the whole thing. It's like, oh, I'm so needed. Even when I'm on leave, people still look for me. And, and it's like, it's feeding my ego also. Yeah. But I was like, the truth is, if I was bedridden or I just fell and collapsed, 100%. Absolutely. 100% things will still move. So I was just like, just get over yourself, Kũî. Yeah.
It's not always all about you.
Exactly.
It's not always all about you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's what you said. It's our default setting. Yes. And it's important to look deep within, because there's usually something.
There's something it's feeding.
Something it's feeding. Yes. It's maybe an esteem thing, or again, could be different things based on at what point you started doing it. Yes. And for me, I'm a believer in therapy. Actually, if I had money, I would pay therapy for everyone in the world. You and me both. And as you get into therapy, you start learning 100%. Why you do what you do,
the way you do
it.
100%.
And I love that you're given tools.
Yes. 100%. We'll come to self-care because you've already talked about various ways of self-care, therapy, mindfulness. So we'll come to that in a minute. But you also said a statement there that I want to follow up on. Something to do with it depends on when it kicked in for you. And for you specifically, when you look back at whether it's your childhood or wherever in your young adulthood, I don't know, can you see when this thing kicked in, when you started embodying it, or has it always been part of you?
I think it's always been part of me.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say there was this dramatic experience that made me become this person. Yeah. I think it's just always been innate. Yeah. Because even when I talk to people who knew me from when I was a kid, so let's say you're always independent, you're always doing things, you're always helpful, you're always trying to find solutions and everything. Yeah, so I think it's always been me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel the same. I mean, I don't know if I was always helpful as a child, but for sure independent. I've always kind of had an independent streak in me. Yeah. And then I think as I grew older, this independence kind of took on now a whole other form where it's like, hyper independence. I can do everything on my own, and I don't need anyone's help. And then so you're doing all these things for yourself on your own, and then everyone else is also expecting you to to fix everything.
Yeah.
And so you're just like carrying this like burden, if you like, you know, of yourself and others.
Yeah.
Which, as we said, can be very costly. For me, it was also, you know, like signs of burnout for sure. My mental health started suffering. My physical health started suffering.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, our bodies are always the truth teller.
Cortisol.
Yeah. Our bodies, they will just be like, nah, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You can try as much as you can, but if the body shuts down, it
shuts down.
Yeah.
And you're forced to take that rest you were refusing to take.
Yeah. So
100%.
it's sad that we at times have to take our bodies through that.
Yes.
But I love the beauty of where we are at, the stage we are at, where we are a lot more aware.
Correct.
And we are more deliberate in self-care, in what works and what doesn't work for us, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember in my 20s, I would party every weekend. Now I'm just, when the week is done, I'm just like, you know what? I want to just chill.
Yeah.
I want to just chill, be zen.
Yep.
I'd still have my moments when I still want to. For me, dancing gives me
joy.
It rejuvenates me.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
But knowing when to do it and when not to do it.
Correct.
Yeah, before there was a routine, you know. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Sometimes even Sunday. And then Monday you have to show up and be professional.
Yeah. Now I'm very aware. First, if I go out one day, I need 3 days to recover.
That's true. Like our bodies also take longer to recover.
Yeah. But I love the fact that I went through all the processes.
100%.
Because I loved myself when I was young. I allowed myself to be young and to enjoy.
Yes.
And I'm enjoying the space that I'm in now.
Yeah.
I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I can just be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to compensate for...
And the one thing I actually learned this from my mentor.
Yeah.
You can say yes yesterday, and today you decide, I actually can't do it.
Yes.
And you say no, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You are allowed to change your mind.
Anytime.
And it's okay.
Yes, I committed yesterday, but actually today I don't feel like I can do it.
Yes.
It's okay to say, you know what? Let's reschedule. Or it's okay if it can't be done, absolutely. I'm more than okay with that.
Yes. Yeah. I just feel like, gosh, it's like you're describing my life, and like, this
maybe we are kindred spirits.
I feel like we are kindred spirits. I'm like, who sent you? Why do you know so much about myself? But let's talk about self-care, which you've kind of touched. You've sprinkled it all through our conversation so far. And I'm going to tie in self-care and communities of care as well. So you've already talked about some individual things you do for yourself.
Yeah.
Therapy. I'm big on therapy as well. I always say therapy saved my life.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
And I've used it on and off at various time points.
Yeah.
But for some people it needs to be a regular thing. For some people it's on and off. But bottom line is, I'm a true believer in therapy. You've talked about mindfulness. So I've also done at various points in my life, deep meditation. I'll go for like 10-day silent meditation retreats.
Oh, I don't know about silence for 10 days.
You'd be shocked. Let me tell you, you'd be shocked because I remember the first time I've done that, I think three times maybe.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went in, I remember my siblings saying to me, how tatoboa? There's no way. You be quiet for even a day, let alone 10 days.
I'm with you.
Funny thing is though, I loved it. And not only did I love it, when we broke the silence on like the 10th day, I didn't even feel like talking. In fact, I was like, why are people talking so much? Like I went to my room, there's too much. I was like, people are just talking too much.
Yeah.
So I really learned a lot about myself that I actually, contrary to what I thought, I truly value silence and, going into any introspection and everything. So there's mindfulness stroke meditation.
Yeah.
One thing you kind of touched on and we might pick up on it again was even also having supportive people around you. And those could be supportive partners.
Oh, absolutely.
A partner who understands that if it means sometimes I have to take up some of the domestic burden so that my partner can shine at work,
Yeah.
I see that to also be a form of self-care.
Absolutely.
What else do you do for yourself?
I think having a community has been really, really amazing.
Yeah.
No man is an island. No man is an island. So I have a very good support system.
Good.
And again, I think before in my 20s, early 30s, I was everyone's friend, So I'd show up in the same way for everyone. Because for me, I'm very deliberate. When it comes to my friendships, I'm very deliberate about spending quality time, about, understanding temperaments, needs, and coming through. And so I remember one time, can't remember when, but I went through an exercise with my therapist where we were able to segment the kinds of friends that I have and what category they fall in, which made it easier for me to know where to put my attention in.
Yeah.
So I had my kitchen cabinet, which are my 2, 3, 4 friends that I
Like
know
that.
I can
You're right or
be
die.
bare, with, and they know everything that's going on around me. And sometimes it's a lot going on, and even if they don't hear from me, they know.
Yes.
But we touch base, if not every day, at least every other day, whether it's light or heavy, we've allowed each other to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Then I have my friends who are quite a number. I have very diverse friendships from childhood to high school to my early adult life into early career and where I'm at now, you know? And so over time, I started shifting where each and every person lies and nipping, especially when it comes to expectations for those who, especially new friendships, who maybe encountered you in a certain way and have expectations. It's actually no. Maybe you don't fall in this category, so I'll not put in as much effort and energy here as I would there. Because that's how I'm spreading myself thin. Yeah, because you're spreading yourself thin because you have work, your family, you have friendships, you have all these activities that you need to do and everything. And so that's how I started doing this exercise, from knowing what to do, when to give myself my time, when to carve time for my friends and everything. And in our 20s, we used to move around like a herd, what are we all doing? Where are we all going and everything? Now I'm finding myself a lot more deliberate in, okay, I want to spend time with you, Kũî. And I have dinner with you, Kũî, that way I can be able to feel your pulse and you can feel mine as well.
Yeah, I love
And the
that.
other thing I remember, I don't know if I read it somewhere, where it's okay to promote, demote, or keep as is, So we might have been best friends when we were in our 20s, but we could be in different spaces now. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I still cherish that moment that we had.
100%.
But you are in a different space, I'm in a different space. And here we are now, So maybe I was seeing you every day then. I'm not seeing you every day now. But that doesn't take it away from what we have, And then, of course, with time, things happen. Like two of my closest friends have now relocated to other countries, So being deliberate to have the phone calls with them, being deliberate to go and visit them and all that. Of course, understanding circumstances and all that. Yeah. But I think for me, that segmentation really helped because then I wasn't just being there for everyone. Yeah. And not to mean that I'm not a friend. I'm still a friend. Yeah. But we are just... Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I like that. Promote, demote, or stay the same.
Keep as is.
Exactly. And I always also have this thing of people, including friends, who come into your life for, a reason, season, or a lifetime. And even if they're only in your life for a season or very closely in your life for a season, it doesn't in any way take away from what you shared with them when you had
season.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's I still cherish that. I still value it. It brought something to my life. Hopefully I gave something into their lives. But seasons change. Circumstances change. Doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't make me a bad person. It just means,
Yeah. And I think we experienced that a lot in our early 30s.
Yeah.
When a lot of our friends got married
had
and everything.
kids.
Yeah. So then I was still this unmarried girl, still partying and everything. And you realize, you know what? Their life has changed.
Yeah.
So for them, if you want to hang out, come and help me wash my baby.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Or feed my children. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
So embracing each other's seasons. Yeah. And I like that analogy because I think, I don't know if it's Madea, in one of those Madea plays that said, friends are like trees and some are branches. The roots and the
trunk.
The trunk.
Yes.
Yes. So, and sometimes it's very easy for us to confuse one for the other because roots are very rooted. Whether you see each other or not.
Yes.
If you see, it can be a year.
Yes.
But you can pick it up like you were together yesterday.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But then sometimes you can confuse the leaves and the trunk because it's the leaves and the branches. Yeah. Because the leaf and the branch almost can stay for a while. You know, the leaf will wither, but then the branch can stay onto the trunk for a long time, you know? And sometimes we tend to take, especially Madia says, you tend to think the branch is the trunk.
Yeah.
And sometimes we even get partners who are just meant to be a branch that would fall off at some point, but end up keeping them. And that's why some relationships don't last over time, because we didn't know when the expiry date came. And we still kept on pushing and holding on and convincing ourselves, you know, we used to do this, we can still be able to do this, you know?
That's powerful. And I'm wondering for you, I want to start talking about like redefining strength, which we've already anyway been talking about. You started off by just saying, me,
I don't want to be a strong woman.
I'm not about that. It is not my portion.
If a man can do it, you can do it. But
you're like,
let the man do his thing. I will do my thing.
But you know, one thing, before we even go to this, you picked up on this, and I wanted to say it earlier, and then it we started on other conversations, I forgot. So my bread and butter, the research I used to do for a very long time was actually around gender equity, gender norms, gender roles. And then what you were describing before is, what in the field I work in we'd call the dual burden of responsibility on women, where we kind of picked up a lot of the traditionally male roles of provider and all this stuff. But the reverse has not been true, certainly not in the African context of there has not been an equal picking up of like the domestic burden, salary
increment.
Yes, salary, 100% salary increment.
Less than men.
Yes.
You still are bearing the child because there is no scientific way that has been brought about that a man can be able to bear the child. Yeah. But then it's still sad because as much as we've moved forward, we still are very many steps behind.
And but one thing for example, like I think it was Chimamanda. So one of my favorite authors is this.
She's my favorite author as well. We were meant to be.
We were just meant to be. How have we not meant to be for anyway? It is. We have now met. It is okay.
The right time and the right place.
Exactly. Providence, the universe, everything has aligned. But she talks about, for example, some of these gender roles. Like how she talks about a girl was not born, for example, knowing how to sweep or to cook. These are life skills that anyone should have. Because even if you're a young man, before maybe you get married, or if you don't get married or whatever, like it's a life skill to be able to know how to cook for yourself and feed yourself and nourish yourself, So I do think we have a lot of work to do in our society in terms of, as you're saying, there's some biological processes that will always have to be masculine and feminine. And then there are societal or gender roles, which are more societal definitions that we need to start kind of unpacking a little bit and seeing how, because then it helps everyone. If say you're married and then your wife is overwhelmed because she's working as hard as you, but she still has to come home and do all the domestic. It actually affects both of you. Affects your marriage.
Because she's not even able to be present.
Exactly.
And you're not able to get her at her best as well.
Exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that in as a by the way, because that's like my bread and butter. You were talking about him like, I think
I would love to study that because I'm very passionate about it. Because it's just what we're talking about. Times have changed, but the rules remain the same.
Yes.
Especially culturally in the African context.
Yes.
Where I'll give you an example. So my older sister is married to a German guy. And she's never loved cooking. I was always the one who loved cooking. She always used to say, you know what, you do the cooking, me, I'll do the other things. And her husband absolutely loves cooking. So he'll cook, he'll clean. Yeah.
And he doesn't feel like it will emasculate him.
If he's there and he does that, there's nothing wrong with that. But if she was married to an African man and it's seen that he's the one who's always cooking, always cleaning, amekaliwa chapati, amepatiwa juju,
she wears the trousers in the home.
Yes, especially it wouldn't help if maybe she's the one who's working or earning more. Yeah. So a lot has changed, but a lot has remained the same.
I agree.
And I would wish for a world where, like in the West, where the man can stay at home and take care of the child because the child is sick and the woman has to go for a pitch or a presentation or an interview or just work, where it doesn't... I'll take us back. So back in 2020, again, we had a lot of time. So we did a lot of things. And my girlfriends and I took on this course. And we just talked about exactly that. The challenges that women face in corporate. And a lot of us were trying to just, talk about the challenges, things we wish could have been done better. And when we graduated, we actually decided, you know what? Why don't we bring, especially some of the men that we've worked with, who either we felt undercut us or always seem to have figured out that political, nuance in the office and everything. And so when we brought them, we had lunch with them and we had the discussion. And we asked them something like, so the boys' club, when you're accepting a meeting at 6:30 a.m., do you think twice about it? The guys were like, no. And we're like, okay, so what would be your typical, you have a meeting maybe say at 7 a.m. What would you do? He says, I'll wake up at 6, maybe 6:15, take a shower, my outfit is sorted out. My breakfast is, yes. In 15, 20 minutes,
I'm out. Yeah.
And then the ladies who have families would now walk them through what that would look out for them. So my children have to go to school. They have to be up by 6:30 a.m. I have a nanny who has to take care of things while I'm gone. And maybe have a small baby who is left behind when I'm gone. So I have to make sure, what are we eating today? Has the child gone to school? Did they do their homework? If not, we are, what are we doing in the morning and everything? So whereas this person will wake up at 6 a.m. and be at the meeting at 7, I might have had to wake up at 4:30 a.m.
Yes, exactly.
Even at night, I slept later than you, trying to sort things out.
And so also the way I show up for that meeting is different.
And so if a woman comes to work at that meeting at 7 or 5, the men are like, you're so tardy. Yeah, you can't get your life together. Or, or your baby is always sick. Don't you have a help or whatever, It's... Times have changed, but not changed.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
So what more can we be able to do? Because if that woman and that man, both of them are going for 7 a.m. Meetings, if the man woke up at 5 a.m. and they all figured it out together, both of them would show up better.
I mean, I hear you. And though, Winnie, the problem is we women are part of the problem.
I agree. It's exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, because
we love doing it and then we love saying I was sad because I was doing it.
A, we love doing it. B, how are we raising our sons?
Yeah.
So there's that, like we and also it's like you want things to be done the way you want to be done. And if he does it, he won't dress the baby the way I would. So there's that. So we want to do everything. Yeah. We want things to be done our way, but also how are we raising our sons? Because very often you'll find, like, even I remember this time I was doing a project with young fathers in Kibra and Madare, and they were saying, I can help my wife like undercover, but like say for example, like if my mom or my mother-in-law is there, like I can't do this thing. Or if my fellow boys are there, I can't do this thing.
I have to show myself.
I have to show exactly. So you'll find sometimes it'll be, the mother or the mother-in-law who is like, but why is my son helping with the baby and with the diapers? Yeah. So we're part of the problem, but that's a whole other... I feel you and I need to do a podcast just on that. And we shall see how we can get you back on season 2 or 3, even with all your busyness. But yeah, I appreciate your views completely. Agree.
No, I think there's a lot of conversations we need to have Especially,
100%, yes.
and you're right, behavior change doesn't happen with one party.
Yeah.
Because there's all these other external parties, like you said, the mother-in-law, the
Yes,
sisters,
yes.
fellow men.
Yes.
Because the man also feels he has to show up in a certain way.
Yes.
There's a certain perception he has to have. I have to be the man. I have to look like I'm the one who's the,
Exactly.
Yeah,
and why do we define man who does only that?
Yeah, as that. Yeah,
yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But I think if the change is meant to happen, it has to happen all around. Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about redefining strength and reclaiming vulnerability. I don't know at which point maybe it started in 2020. I don't know, but at which point in your life did you start thinking, perhaps I could embrace a bit more softness, a bit? I mean, was it after the burnout and you've collapsed and you've been hospitalized? So I'll tell you, for me, the first time I changed my relationship with this word vulnerability, I would say it was maybe lack of providence or random. I was just, how you're watching YouTube and then another video automatically comes up. So it was one of those things. And then a talk by Brené Brown came up and she talks about vulnerability.
Exactly.
I love her. And the way she defined it, I was like, this really resonates with me, because previously I was just like, this vulnerability, this just feels like weakness and softness and, like, it's not for me. Yeah. But then she talked about it in a way I was like, I buy that and I want that for myself. And actually I started seeing vulnerability as courage, not as like weakness, So for me, that's when things slowly, and frankly also my body was just like, girl, it's just not working. This thing you're doing is not working, So for you, for me, I had that one moment. For you, was it a moment or was it over time?
It's been continuous, and I don't even think I've quite hit it on the head yet.
Yeah.
I think it's the first burnout that I had. I think it's the first time I took leave after a long time when I started my business and actually feeling like, I came back and there was no roof on fire. The business was still running. And multiple times I still get it. There are times I still panic and I still feel like things will not be done the way I want it to be done. But I remember one time, yet another mentor telling me, Winnie, even if it's not, it will be done. Even if it's not done the way you want it done.
Yes.
Is it done? Did it give the correct results? Then that's it. Let it be, So I think it's learning to let go.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because of that uncertainty. I think a lot of us are cholerics. The ones who have this issue it's because we like control. Yeah. So that control is, if I do this, I can control the outcome, but learning that, you can let it go and you can, and sometimes it's okay even for it to burn, Yeah, it's
maybe
okay. Let it burn.
Let it burn.
Let it burn.
Maybe we'll
it's
a new
better.
beginning. Yes.
And so it's been continuous. It's consuming a lot of content, seeing other people who have chosen otherwise. And they didn't die, So it's in making those small choices day by day and embracing the outcomes, whether favorable or not.
Yeah. And I was going to say, it also requires some humility to be like, it doesn't actually have to be done my way. Maybe even the other person's way is better.
That's exactly what I wanted to tell you. There's been moments and instances where the outcome has been better than it would have been if it went my way.
Exactly.
It's very humbling,
Yes.
It's very humbling.
It is, because you're like, I guess, I don't know it all.
It's very humbling. It's learning that other people also have something to give. And it's not always about you.
Yeah. 100%. I agree with that. It's not always about you, but then also in doing that, you're also growing the other people, right?
Yeah.
Like you're building their capacity, you're building their confidence.
Absolutely.
Then it makes life easier for you also.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to worry because I know I have a good team. I've built them.
Absolutely.
And you also giving them that confidence. They also don't want to disappoint you.
Exactly. And it's been quite a joy, to be honest, because when I've moved back, I've let, like, when it comes to the context of my business and and my team members. I've let them create and I've let them, because you can see the pride and joy even when they've created something and it comes alive as well.
Yeah.
And there's that breather that you have as well, because then you're not having to be as involved, but then they know that you're still there. They can call on you. And you can come if there is a crisis. You can come and handle it.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's exactly what you're talking about. Letting other people shine and seeing them grow as well.
Yeah.
And the more muscle you give them, the more they take on away from you.
Yeah.
Meaning you can actually have a bit more time, like me being here.
Yes.
Right? We have a project this week.
Yeah.
I would be in the thick of things. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to be here today.
Thank you for making the time.
So I have a perfect team that has really, really, really held everything for me in place and ensure that I can also have a bit of time to myself as well. Yeah. And friends as well. Yeah.
Yes.
The same thing again, where I can actually say, you know what? SOS. Yeah, I'm crashing. And people will stop everything they're doing to come through for you. You know, where do you want me to hold fort?
Yes.
Yeah, what can I do for you at this time?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm envious of you that I have very good dear friends. Like you, I have a very small kind of close-knit kitchen. I like that analogy, kitchen cabinet.
Yeah.
But I still really struggle with asking them for help. And not because I think they won't show up for me. Like, I know it's a me problem. I fully recognize it's not a them problem. They will show up. They have shown up when needed. But I guess I'm still also like unlearning. Like, it's so hard for me to ask for... It's easier for me to ask for help from a stranger
than from a friend or from family.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's something here as well. But I think the one time you do it, then you see them coming through, makes it easier the next time for you to ask. Yeah. Again, I think it's going back to just what we were talking about, the muscle. It's not something that comes automatically. Yeah. It's a muscle you have to keep on exercising. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they'll let you down as well. Yeah. You know, sometimes they won't come through as you expect. Yeah. But knowing that they tried, they went out of their way, is something altogether, you know. Yeah.
And I like that word you used earlier, intentionality, because I think that cuts across so many things. It cuts across your friendships. Yeah. It can cut across being intentional about building your team so that, you know, what we just talked about, you can be intentional about, okay, I'll be intentional about asking for help from, you know, when I need it, you know. So I feel that this idea of intentionality can cut across very many aspects of our life. Yeah.
I agree.
As we start to wrap up, I don't know if this applies to you, but I found that it applies to me. The role of spirituality, if you like. And I know religion and spirituality can be interconnected. So maybe for you, they're interconnected. For me, spirituality and religion have been slightly separate. Yeah. But tell me if that has that kind of been a thing for you? Has it helped you with your own journey of self-care? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So, I've always been a churchgoer. Okay. I'm a believer. My early formative years, I was actually very involved in church. I was in missions. I used to do missions.
Wow.
Yes. I was,
like go out on missions?
Yes. I was in a dance group in this church that was very big on mission work. So we used to go for outreaches in high schools and campuses and doing other things. So my formative years were very, very spiritually based. And I might not be as involved as I was then, but it forms a very big part of my life. Yeah. I pray in a Bible study that we've called Westpac, that we've been a part of. It started in 2010. I've been a part of it since 2014. So that's about 11 years of my life. And basically what we say is we do life together. Yeah. We go through seasons together, through good, through bad. We've seen each other from graduations to marriages, to divorces, to children being born, to children being grown up now, you know? Yeah. So I have a very big spiritual group that help me just grow in my spiritual life. Yeah. I go to church, but the one thing I also learned is to stop giving myself the pressure that I have to do it. Yeah, because God just doesn't exist on a Sunday. So, like I told you, Sundays are my sacred rest days.
Yes.
So I had to make peace. Again, I realized this during COVID again because we weren't going to church and we were fine. We did what do you call it? Bedside
the
services,
virtual, yes.
And you would be in bed and you can watch the sermon and everything. And so I'll catch my sermon in the course of the week. I'll catch it when I'm preparing to go to work. So I haven't been going to church on Sundays, but I still pray. Yeah, I still listen to my sermons. Yeah. And I still have my spiritual authority.
Yeah. And it's nourishing for you.
It is very nourishing. Keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
I'll still pray. I have a project. I'll pray for it. Yeah. So there's a certain zen that I get from knowing that God has my back. Yeah. So it might not be the way that you were taught to do it growing up, but it works for me.
It works for you. And your spiritual community is part of your communities of care.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I like what you've called Sunday. I'm going to change the phrasing for myself. So Sunday is also a rest day for me, and I'm very serious about it. Yeah. But I've tended to phrase it as a lazy day for me. And I don't like that term because lazy has a negative connotation
to it. Yeah.
So I've been looking for like another way to call it. And I like what you've just said. Sunday is my sacred rest day. I think that's what you called it. So because for me, I'm also very big. I mean, unless I really have to be doing something on Sunday, Sunday is just like my pure rest day. Yes. I wake up late, I'm in my pajamas and and I'm like, whoever's judging me, that's your problem. Exactly.
Yeah. Then I'll pick it up Sunday evening or Monday morning.
Yes. Usually for me, I'll pick it up Monday. Like at most, I'll like water my plants on Sunday. And that's because that's nourishing for me.
You're a plant mom.
I'm a plant mom. I am. And I talk to my plants and I water them. Nice. Yes. As we wrap up, if you were to speak to a younger version of yourself, the 20-something-year-old we talked about who was partying all weekend and showing up on Monday.
We still had energy to do it.
We did though. We did. I just think sometimes it's also the way of the universe to calm us because I feel like when I had so much energy to party, I didn't have the money. Yeah. And then when I got the money, I didn't have the energy
to
and
do
I'm
it.
like,
isn't that the truth?
I think so. I'm like, the universe is just helping me save some money because if I had that energy and then this money.
Now, that'd be a problem.
It would be a problem. It would be a problem. So let's trust the wisdom of the universe on that one.
It's the world's way of balancing things out.
Yes, exactly. It's the world's way of balancing things out. Yeah. But let's imagine we're talking to that younger Winnie. What would you say to her? Like, maybe any learned wisdom you've learned along the way. What would you be saying to that young woman about womanhood, about African womanhood, about being a strong African woman?
I would tell her, Winnie, you'll be fine. It shall be well. Indeed. You're doing okay. Indeed. You will do well later in life, but you don't have to have it all figured out. Just be your age. Enjoy what you need to enjoy at that point, Yeah. I would tell myself it's okay to just live for the moment. Yeah. I was worrying about everything and anything. And I guess that's what gave me the push and propelled me to where I am now.
Yes.
But I could have been easier on myself. So I would tell myself, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay not to have it all figured out.
Yes.
Yeah. Relax. Yeah. You're gonna be all right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I really hope some young women will hear this because I can relate. We were too hard on ourselves. Yeah. Wanted everything figured out. Yeah. And it was good. It gave us the push we needed to make the strides like in our careers and things like that. Yeah. But it also had a cost.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do it any other way. But I would just pace myself.
I like that.
I would pace myself.
I like that. Yeah.
Because again, I feel like if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yes.
But I would pace myself. I would learn to, walk slower.
Yeah.
Smell the roses. Yeah. Appreciate the some things. Be there more for my friends, my family, you know? Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Winnie, thank you.
Thank you, Kũî.
It's been lovely.
Oh, I've really enjoyed this conversation.
I'm so glad.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. I know you're so busy. You just said earlier you even have an active project right now, so that the fact that you took the time, and I know you've been traveling and stuff, so that you took the time to come and sit with me today and share space and talk so openly and show vulnerability. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for the time we've shared together.
Thank you, Kũî. I'm so looking forward to more conversations.
Yes.
Like this.
I'm
looking forward to a coffee date. Let's get to know each other.
Girl, listen.
Let's figure out why we are the way we are.
I'm just like, if you thought this was the last you're hearing from me, expect a coffee date is happening. So thank you for the invitation.
I am absolutely looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah,
I do really feel like we're kindred spirits.
I think so.
And I also really believe that the universe brings to you the people you need at the right time.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I do not think it's a just a random coincidence that we are connecting now.
Yeah.
I think we are aligning.
I agree.
It's the universe aligning.
It's the right
things.
time, the right place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, having me over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to watching the episode.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait to share these episodes with the world, the public. I think all my guests have been wonderful. So I'm really looking forward to putting out these conversations.
Can't wait to be a part of this amazing
thank you for being part of the journey.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Kũî. Thank you.
My dear listener, I hope that this conversation with Winnie today has allowed you to see that it's okay to embrace softness, to embrace vulnerability. It's okay for us to allow ourselves to be cared for, to ask for help, to admit that we don't know everything, and it's okay. We don't have to know everything all the time. I mean, look at her. She's brilliant, and still she can admit, sometimes I don't know it all. I don't have it all figured out. So I really hope that this conversation today will help any one of you who is listening to us today to embrace all sides of you, your soft side, your strong side, the tough side, the firm side, but also that has softness and gentleness with it. And more importantly, that you will give yourself permission to put some of your burdens down, to lay some of your own burdens and embrace a bit more softness in your own life. And if you enjoyed this conversation today, please feel free to share it with someone else who you think might benefit from it, whether that's a friend, a family member, a colleague, anyone in your network who you think might benefit from this conversation. And you can continue to journey with us, Conversations with Kũî, on wherever you get your podcasts from, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube for the full video episodes. You can also engage with us on any of our social media platforms that are listed in the podcast description. Until next time, may we all embrace vulnerability and see vulnerability as courage, not as weakness. Stay well.